G'day YouTube. So I've got one of these Ready America 1 person 3 day kits. It's called the Ready America 3000 and it's about $30 off Amazon delivered, so it's a really good price. So what it contains is a couple of sets of stabilized water and a 2400 calorie food box, right? It has a 5 year shelf life, comes like with a little emergency blanket thing as well, which as far as I can tell is junk. But in terms of a very cheap thing that you could keep in your car, that will have a very long shelf life, that's probably a pretty good start. There is a few things that I would probably add to it, as you can probably see from the table here, but most of them are conversation pieces. So what you would add to it would really depend on what you think you will need. For an example, a map and a torch. Always good to have a hard map and a little torch, but you'll probably have your phone on you, right? And again, I would possibly add, I love these ponchos, so I would probably add one of these in and replace the one that's in there because it's reflective, it's got a bit of camouflage, a bit of shelter. I would also add in some wipes, because obviously there's no toilet paper, 3 days of food ingestion and some toilet paper. And I would add in a garbage bag and my typical pack of maps and things. And then probably go from there, because I would have things like knives and multi-tools on me. If I was doing this as a standalone kit, I would add in obviously the toilet paper and the garbage bag and probably a little thread, some zip ties, a marker, some sugars, and this little contraption here, which is a little shovel, obviously for taking care of business, but it's also got a little saw knife, little blade, some survival cord, and it actually does fit in like that. So a nice little bonus there. I've got a few things here which are conversation talkers. So that bottle, I can't find my kidney cup, it's in one of my other bags, but the bottle would fit in there, so I guess if you put the kidney cup in, you could stack this stuff inside and around it. The Stanley cup does not fit. I was thinking about whether or not I would put in a thing of real food. Fits in there quite nicely. Assuming that you have cigarette lighter or matches or something similar as well, then you could start a fire and cook and eat that, and you could then use this to boil some more water if you needed to. Or if this is an empty can of flavouring, would put that in there, and then I could stack some things like the matches inside of it, or the knife, or the thread, or some of these other things. So a few conversation points. Maybe a phone charger, maybe some repair tape, some other options for foods like some seasoning, some bag of rice, some salmon, maybe some tea. I probably wouldn't put spiced ham in, because obviously then you need to have all the other matches and things, and you can't cook it in this. I would add some gloves and maybe a glove and mask. I'm not going to open those just for the sake of a little video. So this is what I've been carrying in my normal kit for a while. So I've actually been having these food rations, but I also would include muesli bars, sugar, chocolate, and some pre-prepared meals like rice ready to eat. I'd have those in my normal kit, but obviously those other things don't last 5 years. I got this pot here because actually this is a pot would actually fit in nicely if I took the handle off, so you could stuff things in if you want to be a bit cheaper there with not having to buy a cup. So it gives an option. This last set here is for, you'd obviously want to have a way to carry it or conceal it in the car. I'm thinking I would use like a Coles type bag. That way you can keep it inside the bag, maybe wrap this in a hoodie inside of this bag, so that way people are less likely to steal it from your car. Obviously if it's in a bag or an old handbag, then someone, if they just open up your car, they're going to steal it. So I probably wouldn't do that, but who's going to look into a Coles bag in the back of someone's car? I like to add honey to these kits. This jar is obviously way too big for what you would take with you, but having some sugar to mix in, like the honey acts as a sugar, you can get a very small container of it and put it in there along with some of these other things, and off you go. Again, a little bit of rice or something else just to tide you over in case, you know, you're not in a drastic emergency, you're only in a middle personal emergency. But that covers off this quick video. Thanks.